That was a big win. That was a damn big win. I don't want to take anything away from the 49ers after that one. The season was on the line. They were going up against a team that might play in the Super Bowl, and they eviscerated them. And what I want to say is, I called it. I saw it coming. You should have seen it coming too. But the thing about the Niners is that they're a damn talented team. They could do this to a lot of good teams. And the fact that it took them this long to put it all together, it took them till November 15th, is strange. But you know what? We'll talk about that later. This performance today was something the Niners can definitely use to propel them to the playoffs. That's all that matters. And no, the other thing that matters is that I called it. That's actually all that matters, that I was right. Even when the 49ers proved me wrong, I'm still right because I'm out in front of it. I just want to take my credit, get my props, because I called it. With confidence. Go back and watch that video I posted a few hours ago. With confidence, I've called the Niners to win this game. I'm going to get into that. But really, I didn't understand how this was going to go. I picked the Niners to win 24-21. That's not how this game went. This game was an annihilation. And after the game, I kept asking players, like, what was the difference? How did this happen? How did it take this long for the Niners to have this complete of a performance? And no one knew the answer. Because you know what? I don't know that there's anything the Niners did differently. We have to give some real props to Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward won this game for the 49ers. It's hard to say the Niners win this game without Jimmy Ward. In fact, they probably lose this game without Jimmy Ward. The first possession of the game for the Rams, Jimmy Ward intercepted Matthew Stafford. The second possession of the game for the Rams, Jimmy Ward intercepted Matthew Stafford and returned it for a touchdown. Checkmate. That was the game right there. That was the hottest start the Niners have gotten out to since week one. And it's all they needed. And what was so cool about what Jimmy Ward did was he was setting this up all year. He was playing mind games with Sean McVay, and this started back in August when I interviewed him one-on-one on my YouTube channel. You probably watched it. I asked him a bunch of innocuous questions. He had things he wanted to say, particularly about the Rams. When someone brought up the Rams, I didn't think I brought it up. It was a question from the audience. Jimmy Ward launched into a whole riff. He's like, I don't understand why Sean McVay goes after me constantly. I mean, he should look at me and say, damn, that motherfucker dominated me. He said that on my show. I didn't curse until Jimmy Garoppolo popped that proverbial cherry and said that, talking about himself in the third person, that motherfucker dominated the Rams. And he said, you know, I've been talking a lot of shit all offseason, and I know that Sean McVay is going to target me. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. He baited Sean McVay into targeting him. And not just that, in the same interview, just to make sure that the hook was, planted, or whatever the phrase is, he went after Stafford too. He said, Stafford? Who the hell is Matt Stafford? He never did anything in Detroit. I mean, yeah, Jared Goff, you say what you want about him, but he won a lot of playoff games. He took this team to the Super Bowl, and yeah, they lost. But what has Stafford ever done, and why is it not his fault? Is it the city of Detroit's fault? Did the Lions not spend enough on players? I mean, they did give him Calvin Johnson. Like, what is Matthew Stafford's excuse? And at the time, people were like, man, that's kind of harsh. Like, Stafford's really good, and he is. But did the Niners not make him look like a freaking chump tonight? I mean, really, the Niners faced Jared Goff week one, Matthew Stafford tonight. Goff played a lot better than Stafford did. So really, everything Jimmy Ward spoke came into existence. He baited the Rams into targeting him twice, picked him off both times, won the game for the 49ers, called that shit in August. How do you not respect that? Jimmy Ward is the most confident person, not player, most confident person I've ever met. And I would like to be, I want to be just like Jimmy Ward when I grow up, even though I'm a few years older than him, because I haven't grown up yet, and I think he just did. He saved the Niners season. And he did it by talking shit in August. You gotta love that guy. One of the more heroic, epic performances when you know the backstory. He's been calling out the Rams since camp. They heard, they went after him. They're bad. Their mistake. Jimmy Ward, that is next level stuff. ultimate respect for what you did. You saved the Niners season. That's a captain right there. You know, it wasn't Fred Warner. It wasn't Nick Bosa. It wasn't Eric Armstead. It wasn't freaking Raheem Mostert, George Kittle. No, it was Jimmy Ward who saved the 49ers season. Let the record show that the only reason the Niners have an opportunity to go on a run is because Jimmy Ward psyched out the Rams on my YouTube channel. So I want to take credit for that too. I mean, I did my part. This looked like Niner football, hard-hitting run, the ball down your throat. Yeah, like where the hell was this the last 2 years? You and Ward had a comedy show. I think I got my swagger back. Yeah, the other thing about Ward that I didn't mention, after he did all that, he walks into the post-game press conference and gets to the podium and goes, "Great." Like, you know, I called it in August. You know, I was on your show and said Sean McVay wants to go after me. I'm going to make him pay. Matthew Stafford isn't that good. I called it. He came to the post-game press conference and was like, "Great." And then when he left, he was like, "Great." That was hella cool. Jimmy's my favorite person in the world. Banana Hands definitely got his swagger back. I think I helped, though. Grant, you're almost always right, but can Banana Hands keep this up? Probably not, but with our help, we can put him in the right direction. And he did say the right things after the game. I'm talking about him next. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Grant, you say you're not a Niners fan. Are you Jimmy Ward fan? I am a definite Jimmy Ward fan. I'm about to buy the Jimmy Ward jersey. Yeah. Should Jimmy Garoppolo start the rest of the season after his last 3 performances? And do you think Kyle Shanahan knew what he was doing or got lucky starting Jimmy Garoppolo over Trey Lance? I'm going to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo too. You can't bench Jimmy Garoppolo right now. He's playing the best football of his career. This was the best start of his career. Don't bench him now. And what's so weird about this season, well, I'm going to talk about it in a minute. I'm going to talk about Jimmy. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. I don't want to get there yet. Hold on. Everything in due time. Will this team make the playoffs? I'm not going to say that. I don't want to get ahead. I'm going to talk about that. You're predicting all of my topics. Grant, what do you think of Quan's interception, his buttception, if you will? That was Gooch. That was all Gooch. And I've never seen a Gooch catch like that. He really used his Gooch to full effect. It was really, really well executed, Gooch-wise. Nathan says, first Niner game, ended up with a win. See, Kyle, what happens when you run the ball? Just keep running the ball 30-plus times, and Debo is a beast. That's my TD punk. I don't understand how it took Kyle this long to figure out what we all knew about his team, but, like, he found it, and they're not out of it. They should be 500 again after next week. Grant, John York largely stays out of media spotlight. Do you think he lit a fire under John and Kyle and said, look, you lose, you're fired? Real CEO usually stays quiet, doesn't just show up. It's possible. You know, Jed made the mistake, or whoever in the organization made the mistake of giving this guy, Kyle, a 6-year extension. The first time he got a 6-year contract, he didn't do anything the first 2 years. Now he got a 6-year extension. He didn't do anything the first 2 years. He might need a little urgency. Maybe John York lit the fire. Good call. Can John York come to practice more often? Thank God Kyle didn't get cute with 6 minutes left and just finally ran the ball. Yeah, John York, he really he was a real MVP of this game. John York getting off his tuchus and coming out to Santa Clara. This team is great when run-pass radio is 60-40. Yeah, like they should have figured that out a long time ago. We've been trying to tell them, I love your press conference questions, but why is it that no player or coach actually answer your questions? Because they're direct questions, and football players don't answer those usually. You can say you aren't a Niners fan, but you are a Jimmy Ward fan. Niners will jump Minnesota and Atlanta. Why reporters asking about 2019? It's annoying. I know it's a bad call. And Kyle, to his credit, took a question like that and was like, I don't want to talk about 2019, but I understand why you're saying that. And don't talk about 2019. This is 2021 and you're 4-5 and you're not even 500 yet. So this is a good step, but you got a long way to go, man. Jimmy Ward is a leader the Niners need. Yes. He's been here since the end of Harbaugh. He's the Niner for life, just like Staley. Yes, that's a great call. Jimmy Ward ascended into the leader of this team, right? The 2019 leader was Buckner and Sherman. The 2020 leader was Fred Warner. The 2021 Niners had no leader until tonight, and it became Jimmy Ward. You love to see it. You love to see it. Any Jalen Moore update? No. We'll find out more tomorrow. He'll have like an MRI most likely. Please use the tip money from this stream to buy a Jimmy Ward jersey and wear it to the next game. Okay. Eating crow thanks to Jimmy Ward. Dude killed the Rams. I didn't think he was that good. I was wrong. Great win, Niners. Kyle, run the damn ball. Yeah. It's great. It's amazing what happens when quality control comes together and helps Kyle. All right, Kyle Shanahan. The thing about Kyle Shanahan that's so frustrating is he will disappoint you for years. He's been underwhelming since they lost the Super Bowl. He was really on a hot streak in 2019. He emasculated the Packers, and then it all fell apart in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, and we've been waiting for 2 years for him to rediscover what he had. That's a long time to wait. That's a long freaking time to wait. And then all of that waiting culminates in this, and it's like, okay, well, you redeemed yourself. That's what's so difficult about Kyle, and to a large extent, Jimmy Garoppolo too. They can underwhelm. They can disappoint you. And then right when you're ready to write them off, right when you're talking about firing them or replacing them, Kyle and Jimmy, they do something, you're like, all right, you're special. Okay, you're special. All right, maybe you should stick around. We just got to get this out of you more often. So what was so special about what Kyle did today? Well, he had the right game plan for once. I don't understand how he lets the Cardinals dictate to him. The Cardinals and their league worst run defense come into the game and show some look, and Kyle's like, damn, we're not running the ball today. Doesn't make any sense. But against this team, he's like, we're running the ball and there's nothing you can do about it. And they've proven it 5 games in a row. They've beaten the Rams 5 times in a row. Kyle Shanahan is now legally Sean McVay's guardian. That's what happened. He's now Sean McVay's legal guardian, and Sean McVay has to get his permission to go on field trips. So Kyle Shanahan, what's up, man? I'm media.
I understand, but you can't be on the field.
I'm not on the field. I'm here every game after the game. If you want to talk to Corey Rush, go ahead. But I've gotten permission from the PR staff to be here. All right. Okay, let's keep. So Kyle Shanahan, doing a hell of a job. Coaching for his job right now. They're trying to kick me off the field right now. How you like that? They win 1 game, and they're trying to kick me off the field. Like I'm not here every game. It's amazing. Look at this. It's going to end the show because I'm speaking too many facts. Anyway, good for you, Kyle Shanahan. I just want to say, the thing about him, it took him until week 10 to get all the right things. Did he have an epiphany, or did he watch my show? Is he a fan of me? Hard to say. Hard to say. I think he's a fan. No one talking about how Ward came off the IR on half a leg from injury that keeps most players out a month because the Niners needed him. Niners Hall of Fame? Yeah, let's put him in it. I like that. Kyle's game ball should have gone to the faithful for showing up at Levi's. Yay! Good call. Happy about the win. What's up with the Cohn Zone? Haven't seen you collab with your dad. Is that coming back? Yeah, we've gone through some family stuff. He'll be back. It's going to be a while, though. He's fine, though. Put this on the Jimmy jersey. Okay, I will. Do you think Kyle would lose the locker room if he starts trading? Dude, of course. You can't bench the quarterback now. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. Dude bounced. Get the hell out of my face. You like how I handled that, right? Dude came over to me like, you can't be out here. Like, you must not know me. Ask Jimmy Ward about me. Jimmy Garoppolo. How does this guy do it? He's just like Kyle Shanahan. Everyone knew this was pretty much the end of his career on the Niners. If you lose to the Rams, nothing personal, but now the Niners are 3-6, and they already drafted your replacement. They got to go with Trey Lance. It's like he knew, hey, man, I'm in a rough spot. It's not my fault. I got to do something crazy. And you know what? Best start of his career. Now he only threw 19 passes, only completed 15. Who cares? Everyone's so excited about Mac Jones right now, right? Everyone in New England, across the globe, is like, man, this Mac Jones guy, he's playing the position the right way. He's the future in New England. That was a Mac Jones performance. I mean, about 200 yards, efficient, not the engine of the offense, but definitely a deadly complementary piece. And if the Patriots are so optimistic and enthusiastic about Jimmy Garoppolo, about Mac Jones, and why shouldn't the Niners be enthusiastic about Jimmy Garoppolo? I think what's so ironic about this season is I love Trey Lance, and I think Trey Lance ultimately will end up being better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is a serviceable plus quarterback who can be good sometimes, and he was not the problem, never was. Like, his issue is that he's overpaid. He's just overpaid. If you could renegotiate his contract and make him a little bit more cost effective, you wouldn't have had to replace him. You would have just needed to get like a backup in round 3. If the Niners could have renegotiated his contract, made him a little cheaper, and brought in a backup, they'd be fine. They never would have had to do the move that they did where they traded 3 draft picks, 3 first rounders and a third for Lance. Garoppolo's showing him, like, look, Josh Norman's the problem. Emmanuel Mosley's the problem. There's so many more issues than the quarterback position. And look, Trey Lance may end up being all-time great. John Elway, Josh Allen, maybe. But Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make it really hard for Trey Lance to ever see the field here. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is playing like a guy right now who could make an argument that he should be the starter next year. How do you bench him? Now, he could totally stink it up against the Jaguars, but how do you bench him? I don't think you can. I got to say, I'm inspired by Jimmy Ward, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo. Their careers are on the line. Their seasons are on the line. I don't think I've ever been in a situation like that. And for them to respond that way shows what they're made of. Jimmy Garoppolo is a hell of a competitor, and he definitely plays his best when someone whispers to him, hey, we might bench you this week. John York shows up, Jimmy plays his best. So Jimmy's going to start next week against the Jaguars, and he may start the rest of the season. He may start next season, and you know what? There's a lot worse quarterbacks out there than Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd like to see Trey Lance at some point, but I got to give Jimmy Garoppolo props. With all this stacked against him, this guy trying to kick me off the field, this guy trying to kick him off the field, he stepped up. So Jimmy Garoppolo, respect. Also a very confident person. Let's talk Debo Samuel. Freaking Debo Samuel is the best player on the team. I mean, like, we had to give Kyle Shanahan his props and Jimmy Garoppolo his props, but honestly, does this win happen without Debo? Without Debo and Jimmy Ward, did the Niners win this game? Right now, the Niners offense is Debo. When they need a big run, they put Debo at running back. When they need a big play at wide receiver, they throw to Debo. Now, they have other guys at wide receiver. They have other guys in the offense. Elijah Mitchell, excellent player. Very good player. George Kittle, nice player. Not as good as he was 2 years ago, but still a good player. Debo Samuel is better. Debo Samuel might be the best wide receiver in the league. Maybe that's a stretch. Okay, that's a stretch. But the leading wide receiver in the league coming into this game was Cooper Kupp, right? 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Who was better? Who was the better wide receiver tonight? Debo or Cooper Kupp? It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. When Debo Samuel gets the ball, no one can tackle him. He's an NFL player getting hit by NFL players, and they can't tackle him. That's crazy. Debo Samuel is the reason this season is still going. Debo Samuel is the reason that this offense was so explosive. And Debo Samuel is the reason that any quarterback the Niners have is going to be successful. So, Jimmy, great game. Thank Debo. Trey Lance, if you ever become a quarterback of this team, become really good friends with Debo because he's going to make you look good. George Kittle's important, kind of. You know, give you 50 yards and a couple good blocks, maybe a touchdown. Good player, but not Debo. Debo Samuel is head and shoulders better than George Kittle. Debo Samuel right now is better than George Kittle ever was. And the Niners are going to have a tough decision with Debo because he's so good and he's had injury problems in the past. Do they pay him? I don't see how you don't. He's so important to the team. Now, you don't pay him now, but he's someone who needs to be here long term because he's so freaking good. Debo Samuel. Only way I'm getting off this field is if Debo Samuel kicks me off himself. I'm telling you right now. Hold on. I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to finish this up. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Say it like it is. Shanahan is McVay's daddy. He is McVay's daddy. Kyle saw that you were streaming your show on his home field and giving him the truth. He had to get security on. You can't kick out the voice of truth. Do you think I handled that well? I'm sorry. I'm usually a very nice, patient guy, but not during a live stream. I'm sorry, man. This is too serious. Brunskill should be re-signed only to play against the Rams. He sucks against everybody else, but he owns Aaron Donald every time. The funny thing is I told dude to call. I was like, hey, call someone. He pulled out his phone like he knew the dude's number. Like, who are you calling, man? Just walk away. Just walk away. Just walk away. Okay, Grant, let him know who boss. My guy flashed his credentials with the LOL. The Rams played this game like we played it. That's what I'm saying, man. The Rams showed up and played like the Niners in this game, which is hella funny. Grant, do you like men? Thanks, bro mode. Here, watch this. Blocked. Oh, what happened? Oh, you're blocked. But thanks for the $2. Kyle sat and ignored Adam's family during a family birthday party celebration to create a pre-snap motion plays for his game on his iPad. Yeah, good for him, man. Adam's family, I mean, you already seen that. 2 QBs problems to have, Trey can learn. Sure, man. Why are you such a savage, Grant? Because I'm from the town, and I was raised like this. Grant, you wanted to trade Debo, though, just saying. Yeah, but I changed my mind. Damn, you can't trade Debo. Definitely can't trade Debo, man. He's propping up every quarterback on this team. Grant, do you think the Niners had video clip loops of you berating the players and coaches all week for motivation? I hope so because it worked. I don't know, maybe. It'd be smart. Someone watch my stuff. It's okay to sit a rookie quarterback sincerely the NFL passed before 2010. Yeah, it's the way they usually do it. Brandon, thank you. Thank you. George Kittle with 2 TDs in the last 2 games. He could be gearing up to explode in his next stretch of games. Put this on the Ward jersey. Good point. He's been a little touchdown challenge the last few years. Good to see him score. First game this season I went to, and we win. I'm 5-0 going to Niner games. Now you're welcome. Plus, great win. But can I say I miss Kendrick Bourne? Yeah, I do too. Good guy. Good dancer. Jeff. John York shows up to practice, and Kyle responds with 40-plus runs. Coincidence? Someone felt the heat. A+ to quality control. Why does it take this for Kyle to do? Why does it have to come to this? Why did it take a 3-5 start and John York flying from Youngstown, Ohio, for Kyle to be like, okay, I'll just coach the way I used to. Sorry. Just kidding about the last 8 games. Grant, thanks for always being a positive outlet. I try. Do not overreact to this win. ODB is a brand new, and they had one wide receiver that ain't good in the field. That's what I'm saying. I predicted this. Not hard to shut down a wide receiver corps that has only one person with peep the film. Solid win, but chill. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that, Justin. Love you, Grant. We have a chance to jump teams ahead. Yup. Do you think they celebrated too much tonight and might lose next week? I don't think they did. I think Kyle was all about that. He didn't even hand out game balls. Grant, if Jimmy wins at least the next 6 games, do you see him staying for next season? Yeah. Love you, Grant. Thanks for everything you do for Bay Area sports media. I look forward to your videos every day, man. They legit make my day after work. Well, thank you, Drew. That was Drew Down. Damn. You just have me named after my favorite rapper. This is Drew Down, baby. Nice, dude. All of a sudden, it was a new day. Yeah, them 501s. Drew Down, so underrated, man. Had he not gone to prison in the late 90s, he would have been just as big as Tupac. I will go to my grave feeling that way. All right, let's talk about Talanoa Hufanga. He's a great partner for Jimmy Ward. Jaquiski Tartt is probably a better player than Talanoa Hufanga. But Jaquiski Tartt's good for like 6 games a year. And I don't feel like Tartt's skill set really complements Jimmy's because they're similar. Solid players, always do the right thing, not big hitters. Talanoa's a big hitter. He had a hit today that was just phenomenal. And Tartt's not going to give you that. Ward's not going to give you that. So Ward can do all the coverage stuff. Talanoa Hufanga can be the robber, the lurker who's there to smack you in the face hard. He had one today that I don't exactly remember who he hit, but I don't remember a Niners safety hitting someone that hard in years. Now, Ward can hit, but he's like a technically sound hitter who's built like a corner. Talanoa Hufanga, it just is a missile. He reminds me of Whitner. He reminds me of Goldson. He's not as good as those 2 guys, but just the way they hit. Not sure that Hufanga is a starting level safety long term, but next to Ward, he might be. Because Ward sort of covers up most of Hufanga's weaknesses, the coverage stuff, and it lets Hufanga just kind of be this roving linebacker who punishes people. And really, You want to have a punishing hitter next to Ward. Now the Niners have one. I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool development. I like Tart, but I'd like him better if he could play 16, 17 games a year. He can't. So you got to move on, and you're seeing something from Hufanga. I'm not sure if he can be the Niners starting strong safety next year, but I'm not sure he can. He's a nice compliment to Jimmy Ward. He hits really freaking hard. Something to be encouraged about. One of the Niners' more encouraging rookies. Let me answer a couple more questions, and then I'm going to finish up. I should not have gone to the Colts game. Glad they stepped up today. They need to keep it going. Yeah, it's your fault that they lost to the Colts. What do you like most about Niner fans? That they like me. And they're so discerning and smart. I would have to say that too. It doesn't matter that Kyle didn't give Ward a game ball. Stafford. Yup, I feel that, man. Okay. Last thing. What's next for the 49ers? So this is a really great win. The Rams are a Super Bowl contender. The Niners are not even in the playoff picture right now. They're under 500. So this is a game if you're like, well, if the Niners can beat the Rams, they can beat anybody. This might have been the best team remaining on the Niners schedule, maybe the Titans. But if the Niners can beat the Rams, they could run the table. And you know what? That's true. That's why this game is so encouraging. That the Niners absolutely could use this as a springboard to go on a run and go to the Super Bowl. Forget the playoffs. They absolutely could. But it's not a given. I predicted the Niners would win this game, not because I think they're better than the Rams. I don't think they're better than the Rams. The Rams are reeling. They lost Robert Woods on Friday for the year. He's very important to their team. Without Woods, it's easy to focus on Kupp, who's the whole offense. Odell Beckham's been on the team a minute. He was not a factor. Their running back is mediocre. Their complementary weapons after Beckham and Kupp are mediocre. This is a team that was not at its full strength. Also, this game didn't mean much to them. They have a good record. For the Niners, this was their Super Bowl. Also, they got called out by Joe Staley last week after losing to the Cardinals. They got called out by Steve Young and Jerry Rice, who said they had no dogs on the team. They got called out by John Lynch, who said Fred Warner was not living up to his contract. I mean, they got thoroughly humiliated and then got called out by people associated with the organization. Like, there was no way they were not going to show up to this game. The only way they were going to lay down like last week is if they had zero pride left. And that's not what this team is about. The reason that they sleptwalk through the first half of the season is because they think they're so great. They think they can just show up. And when they finally just took that approach and got embarrassed by Colt McCoy, it was the wake-up call they needed to say, no, we can't just show up. We're not that team from 2019. We have to earn it every week. And when you have that approach, you win, because that's the approach the Niners had in 2019. They hadn't earned anything. They freaking sucked. They were a bad team for like 5 years in a row, and they had a humble head down approach to 2019 and looked up, oh my God, we're 8-0. So the Niners took the right approach today. It took utter humiliation and a 3-5 start to get there. And honestly, the way they lost last week, their record, the point in the season, who they're facing, Monday Night Football, is a layup. They were definitely going to come out prepared and focused. Can they do it again? Can they do it again? The Rams are the kind of team that'll bounce back next week. They're a really good team. They're going to finish the season with 10, 11, 13 wins. The Niners are the kind of team that reverts. So it's possible they use this as a springboard and go on a run, but I'd like to see them. And I'd like to see them do it. And I think they took the right steps today. They said the right things. They didn't celebrate. Kyle Shanahan didn't give away game balls. So we got to do it again. I like that, because really, now the Niners have a short week. It's Tuesday in a half an hour. And then the Niners have one less day than the Jaguars are prepared. Then they fly out on Friday. They fly out like 3 days. And yeah, the Jaguars suck, but the Niners lost to the Colts. The Niners lost to Colt McCoy. If you lose to Colt McCoy, you could lose to anyone. The Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence, who's way better than Colt McCoy. So can the Niners go to Jacksonville, 10 a.m. start, short week, and lose? Absolutely. Because they beat themselves when they lose. They can lose to any team. So I'm not just going to sit here and say, well, this proves that the Niners are back and they're going to go on a run and they're going to go to the playoffs and win and that everything's going to work out. I don't know that. I'm not going to give them that benefit of the doubt. They shouldn't give themselves that benefit of the doubt either. Prove it again next week. Beat a bad team in Jacksonville and then come back and beat a mediocre Minnesota Vikings team and then go to Seattle and beat a less than mediocre Seahawks team. Like, the schedule's getting easy. Take care of business because, a lot of times teams that have gone to a Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl a year later, 2 years later, they're not the same team and they're pretty freaking mediocre. But for one day, they can recapture the glory and show that they still have pride and talent. But that doesn't mean the season's going anywhere. I mean, the New York Giants used to do stuff like that after they went to Super Bowls. Like, they'd have one. Remember when the Giants beat the Niners in 2012? That was their last stand, and then they went on to do nothing that year while the Niners went to the Super Bowl, right? Niners went to Super Bowl in 2012, not the Giants, but the Giants beat them at Candlestick Park, and that was their opportunity to show the league, hey, we're still good, but they couldn't keep it going. If the Niners go home and we're like, hey, well, we proved our point. We're still good, and we can just waltz into Jacksonville and win, they'll lose in Jacksonville. If they take this game and they're like, okay, well, this is the way we have to approach every week. And we have to take the mindset that we're not that good. We're a weak team that needs to prove it every week. Not we're some team that should have won the Super Bowl and we're still that team. No, we're a team that's under 500 and needs to keep proving it. If they can keep that approach, they can win a lot of games. And I don't know if they can do it. It's up to Kyle and the leaders on the team. This was a good step in the right direction, but again, I called it. It was predictable. The Niners were desperate. The Rams were not. The Niners were healthy. The Rams were not. Do it again. Do it again next week. Have the same level of focus. A complete game from start to finish. It's the first complete game the Niners had all year from start to finish. Do it again. Make this a trend, not a one-off. Can I sit here and tell you it's going to be a trend? No, absolutely not. But I'd like to think it will be. So we'll see. That's what's next for the 49ers. How far back will this win set us? Ballpark 1 to 3 years. I see exactly what you mean. I know what you mean, right? I think a lot of Niner fans are rooting for a loss just for that exact reason. Give us a shutdown cornerback. The team hasn't had that in years. I know. I'm trying to get him to draft one. Are you attracted to Jimmy Ward? He's a very attractive man. Absolutely. I would have to say so. It doesn't matter that Kyle didn't give Ward a game ball. Stafford gave him two. Absolutely. Yeah, shut down corner. Yep. I'm still salty that guy tried to end my show. He really just walked up and tried to end the show like, dude, do you know how many people are watching right now? Hufanga is Golson 1.5, another offseason 2.0. Well, we'll see. They're different. But I like the way he hits. I got to say, I like the way he hits. First time I've ever agreed with 100% good shit. I praise the Niners when they win, okay? I'm not a hater. I didn't praise them when they beat the Lions. That's fair. It's the freaking Lions. I didn't praise them big when they beat the Eagles. I think that's fair. And I didn't praise them big when they beat the Bears. I mean, come on. This is a huge win. And the only thing I'm saying is do it again. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, the Niners are back, because that's the problem with the Niners. They do one good thing and they're like, we've proven ourselves. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. It's every week. And that's the approach you took in 2019. Do it again. The coach, thank you, man. Thank you. Grant ain't very humble. Nah, I'm not humble at all. Neither is Jimmy Ward. I'm trying to be like Jimmy Ward when I grow up. So I'm just trying to. Guys, they're going to kick me out of here. I wonder where that guy went. He's probably so pissed. He thought he had a little bit of power, and I wouldn't give it to him. Maybe he was right. Maybe I'm not allowed to sit out here either, but they're going to have to get someone a little bit above his pay grade to kick me out. I'll tell you right now. I'm Grant Cohn, and Jimmy Ward knows my name. I'm not going out without a fight. I'll tell you right now. I got to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. No Vish tomorrow. Vish is Wednesday. I'll be back with Jackhammer tomorrow. Peace.